Hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek and welcome to episode 159 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. And it's Christmas, so we're doing Christmassy stuff and all that. And this week we're looking at rare exports, which I don't have a physical copy of because it's really expensive. But I have bought it. There it is. I have bought it on Amazon. So it says there, look, you purchased this, it's real. So I do own it digitally. Anywho, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, yes we are. We're live on Rumble, yes we are, for once. And we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. But explore the description for, I forgot what to bloody say. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch and me books. Let's plug me books. I haven't plugged them for a while. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi, action-adventure about UFOs and stuff. And Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village. It's all a bit of fun and an Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. What else? Links as well for me other websites and my other channels and all that stuff. Become a member like Windgrace and Justin and Michael and Adam Gamer and the others. Can't remember, but they're the top four, the ones that matter. And then you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. Right, so rare exports, A Christmas Tale. Windgrace is here. The water is warm in the membership pool, says Windgrace. Just slightly, above, roundabout room temperature. Tepid is the word I'm thinking of. Anyway, right, so rare exports from 2010. A Finnish I'll just read what it says on Wikipedia. A Finnish fantasy action horror comedy film. So it's there you go. It's got it all. I don't know if I call it a horror film, although I've picked it for Friday Night Appointment with Fear. I don't know. It kind of is, in the same way that maybe Krampus is, and Gremlins and stuff like that is classed as horror, I suppose. But anywho. From Finland, came out in 2010. It's based on a short film from 2003 and its sequel from 2005, Rare Exports. And Rare Exports, the official safety instructions, which are on YouTube. You can watch them on YouTube. They're amusing. And feature the same cast as we see in the film. Written and directed by, I'll probably mispronounce this, Halmari Helander or Jalmari Helander. I have no idea. But they're all Finnish people, apart from one bloke. Stars Oni Tomila, Jorma Tomila, who's his dad, play father and son in real life. Per Christian Elfsson. Lots of Finnish names, and then we've got Jonathan Hutchins, who plays the only English-speaking. Well, I say the only. There's a few English lines in this. It's mostly in Finnish, but there's some English dialogue in it. And there's one like English actor, and even though he's not English, he's actually Welsh. Is Jonathan Hutchins, but he's lived in Finland since the 70s apparently. Anyway, at a budget of 1.8 million euros, box office of 4 million, and it's kind of generally well regarded, although it didn't do massive at cinemas. I think it's done quite well on DVD and Blu-ray and all that, even though it's quite expensive if you try to seek it out. Well, the Blu-ray is anyway. It's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 out of 4 and saying it's brilliant and stuff like that. And it is really, really good. I really like it. So we'll get on with it, shall we? We're not going to just watch it, because YouTube are going mental. YouTube is going mental recently, isn't it? Apparently, from what I've seen. Demonetising channels and deleting channels and all that palaver. I hope I'm not going to get demonetised and deleted. Not that I make a lot of money from YouTube, but anyway. So we'll get on with it. We're going to watch it in a series of stills. I'll try and remember what I've learned from. There's a behind the scenes video that I've watched on YouTube. It didn't really tell us much, but we'll just get on with it and just talk about it, shall we? As we go through it. Right, so off we go. I'll pop myself down in the corner and we shall begin. I think this might be another short one. But anyway, because it's not a long film, it's only an hour and 20 minutes. But, so we could be in and out pretty quickly tonight. We'll see. Add it to stage, Steve. There you go. That'd help, wouldn't it? Right, off we go. I hope. There it is. Oh, it's almost like the Universal logo, except I don't think it is. No, it's Oscilloscope Laboratories. Don't you start, lady. Sorry, me cat. Making noises. Behave yourself. Hey, what a cat's like. I'm pressing the wrong buttons and telling him useless. Oscilloscope Laboratories. Don't know what else they've done. Right, so anyway, so here we go, we begin. Hang on, where are we? There we go. It says, there we go, 24 days to Christmas. As I said, it's mostly in Finnish. In Finnish, a weird language. It's all the vowels and consonants are in the wrong places, but never mind. Right, so we begin. We're up on a mountain. I can't remember what it's called. The mountain is called, in the story. I'll just turn a minute, I'll tell you. On Mount Korvatuntuuri. Korvatuntuuri. That'll do, won't it? Which is a real place in Finland, up near the Russian border. But it's not actually filmed there. Apparently, it's filmed near Tromsø in Norway. But anyway, this chap, who I think is... Hang on, where are we? Where's my cast list? Who I think is... I've no idea. Riley? I think he's called Riley, this fella. I don't know where he's supposed to be from. He does speak English and he speaks Finnish in it as well. But he has an accent, so... I don't know where he's supposed to be from. But there's a company called... I forgot the name of the company as well. Bloody useless, where are we? Sub-Zero Corporation or something. That are doing some drilling up on top of this mountain. And we have a chap telling him that they've found something in one of the cores. This is Jonathan Hutchins, by the way, who kind of does the narration for the film as well. He's got a very well-spoken... He's in the YouTube videos as well. The short films. He's got very well-spoken. Just listen to it. He's got a really good... It kind of reminds me a little bit of... I forgot his name. Ralph Ineson. You know, the fellow that is the man with a really deep voice that's been in a lot of films recently. People call him Innocent for some reason on YouTube. But it's Ineson. I know that because I knew somebody called Ineson. Anyway. They're not going to speak now, is it? Now I've done that. Oh, for God's sake. Go back again.
For yourself, sir. Drilling sample number 76 from 1300 foot.
There we go. Cool voice. I don't know, I could listen to that voice all day. Anyway, right, here we go. So they've drilled... No, it's not Rafe. It's just Rafe Fiennes, in it. And there's another one in there that's Rafe. Rafe Spall. Although I think that is spelt Rafe, isn't it? I think. Timothy Spall's son. Anyway. They've drilled and they've found something deep down inside the mountain. So it opens up the core sample and there we go. We see sawdust. They've found sawdust and they don't know why. Well, he does. And he explains that in the olden days, before refrigeration, they used to preserve ice by packing it in sawdust. I don't know if that's true or not, but it probably is. So it's basically we're learning that the mountain is there's something inside the mountain that's packed in ice and sawdust, and it's what he's looked for his entire life, this fella. So he's going to now. He says it's the Christmas season now, so it's obviously 1st of December or whatever. So he's handing out safety cards for the men. They've got to follow the rules. There we go. No drinking, no smoking, no cursing, no cavorting, no arguing. I don't know what that says. Is it gonna move his finger? I don't know. He's not moving his finger. I don't know what that is. These rules of conduct are to be followed. Hang on, see if we can read it any better. Hang on, where are we? Don't go off. Don't go off. Don't go off. There we go. By all personnel, something. I can't read it. At the. That's the name of the mountain, which I've forgotten site. Any attempt to break these rules can lead to death. Death of you and or your co-workers. Deliberate negligence will result in immediate termination of employment. Thank you. So that's the rules they've got to... Because you've got to be good at Christmas, haven't you? You can see where we're going. And he says, this is nonsense. What the men are not going to do, he says, they've got to or they'll die. Anyway, then we see that there's two young lads watching them. And this was where telling us where we are. Corverton Touring Mountain Drill Site. And we even get some coordinates there. But there we go. Sub-Zero Inc. High explosives. I think it says in... is it here on Wikipedia where it says... Yeah, an American and British research team. I'm not hearing any Americans, but they do mention... They said that the Jonathan Hutchins character, whose name I've forgotten, Green, I think is called, does it say? Brian Green. They say he's American, but he's clearly British from his accent, but whatever. But then later we're told that the Russians, because they're actually on the Russian side of the border, but none of this is in Russian, is it? But anyway. They're watching. This is, I forgot their names as well, because they're all Finnish, so I don't know. Pitari. That's Pitari, and that's Juuso. Weird Scandinavian names. They're watching, because they're nosy. Then we see that they're drilling, and he's going to gather the men around. Oh, they found something else, and I don't know what they found. I don't know what it is they found, but he's cradling it like a baby, but it doesn't show us. It just looks like a piece of ice. Look. He's amazed, but I don't know what it is, and it doesn't tell us. But he says, I've looked for this my entire life, and I've no idea what it is. So he addresses the men and tells them they're about to do something amazing, and all that stuff. So anyway, they sneak off again. This is where he's telling them, and it's going to be cool. There's the mountain. So I imagine these two lads just stumble down this mountain. Back to the fence. There it is. They've cut a hole in the fence so they can get through. There we go. It says border zone, no access. One of these signs says that. I don't know which one. Maybe that one. Looks like it's that one, isn't it? I bet it's that one. So anyway, but somehow Petari knows it's to do with Santa Claus. I don't know why. Because in his speech up on top of the mountain, Riley or whatever the hell he's called, doesn't say it's Santa Claus that they've found or anything like that. He just says it's an amazing thing, it's something I've been looking for my entire life, and remember lads, be good. Unless there was something off screen or a deleted scene, I don't know, but Petari's he believes in Santa still, by the way. And I don't know how old he is, this kid. Because he's in the... Because this came out in 2010, and he's in the prequel... Not prequel, the YouTube short, which came out in 2005. I imagine he's in the first one. I've not seen the first one. I've seen the second one. I've not seen the first one. Which came out in 2000. So that's 5 years. So, and he doesn't look that old. He looks to be about, 12 at the most. So, anyway. Why wouldn't he believe in Santa? What are you saying? I'm not saying anything, but we're saying he still believes in Santa. But Juuso, however you pronounce it, he doesn't believe in Santa because he's more grown up than Pitari. And he's saying, you're such a nerd, Pitari. He kind of gets picked on a little bit. I think it's because he's a small kid and all that, because it's a rough life that they live up here in northern Finland. But... he says, well, who brings me presents then? And then he says, that's it. They go, who was the Santa who came to our house then? And he says, that's Mr. Pipperinen, who we do meet later on. His dad pays him to get dressed up as Santa. I think the whole village pay him to get dressed up as Santa and visit all the kids. But there you go, his dad pays him for it. So, oh man, and then as they're looking, an explosion goes off on top of the mountain because now they're blowing up. Whatever it's like in The Thing, And according to the trivia, because you can see there's two horns there, look like two things of smoke. And I don't know if that was deliberate or what, I don't know. But in the trivia it says, there's an explosion on the mountain. The resulting smoke takes on the form of two horns, foreshadowing later events in the movie. Because spoilers, when they find Santa, when we see Santa in his block of ice, we don't really see him, but he's got horns. It's more like Krampus than Santa. But anyway, so they see that. Think, wow, they're blowing stuff up now. Right, then we're doing like the credits now, and as we're going over the credits, it's a passage of time as well. And he's got loads of books from somewhere. I don't know where. They must have an amazing library or something. I don't know. He's got loads of books about Santa Claus. We see he's reading. He's going to show us. We see he's reading loads of pictures and all that. There we go. This big stack of books. Must have an amazing library in the village where they live. I don't know. Or maybe his dad's just right into Santa Claus. I don't know. But he's got loads of books about it. So he's learning all about Santa, and we've seen that Santa in the past, before Coca-Cola, they actually mentioned Coca-Cola, the red and white Santa was, like a vengeful spirit and all that stuff. Who took away naughty kids and ate them and all that. And there we go. Is that going to tell us what that says? No, it doesn't. There we see Santa's eating raw meat and all that stuff. Some animal. I don't know if these are from actual books or if they've been made for the film. I have no idea. But anyway. It kind of looks weird. It's a weird looking kid, isn't he? This, whatever the hell he's called again, I've forgotten. Oni Tamila. It reminds me of, Disparu. If you know Disparu, you know what I mean. Kind of reminds me of him. And in the behind the scenes, he was a weird kid. They kept saying, are you going to talk to the camera? And he kept going, no, and walking off. I thought, is there smoke with him? I don't know, but anyway. Anyway, so he's boning up on Santa, and here we see he's got a picture of Santa. Has he drawn this? Has he just ripped it out of one of the books? Because I don't know. Or has he copied it? If he's copied it, he's a really good drawer, isn't he? But we see he's going over the horns with the Santa hat. Santa hides his horns with the Santa hat. That's what it was showing. That's what he's showing us there. And here's more. We can see they live in the shadow of the mountain. We can see more explosions and stuff going off up there. So he's like, something's up. Then we cut to his dad. I forgot to remember his dad's name. Rauno or something. Rauno Contio. Played by Oni's real life dad, Jorma Tamila. He's making a wolf trap. We see he's cutting stakes and driving them into the ground in a pit that he's dug. Because apparently they're being troubled by wolves. They're saying that the explosions up on the mountain and all the noise that the researchers up there have been making have driven the wolves down the valley or something. So he's making a wolf trap. There it is. And now he's going to hang a pig's head. He covers it up and then shovels some snow on it and then hangs a pig's head. Where are we? In a minute. There it is. Hangs a pig's head as bait from his digger. And then goes home with his Christmas tree. And we see that he stuffed the rest of his apple that we saw him eating into the... Oh, you can't see. Into the pig's mouth. But, hang on. You couldn't see it. Where is it? No, you can't see it for me. Hang on, where are we? There it is. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Am I back on? I hope so. Eh, dear. Make sure we're still going. Tin, tin, tin. I can't get that song out of my head. Right, so off he goes back up to his house. Pitari, he calls. He'd fallen asleep on his stool or wherever he's on, with all his books. There's loads of cases for some reason. I don't know why. By the way, he's a single dad. Is Brownie. Don't know what's happened to his mum. We presume she's died, but I don't think it tells us. So she's either died or buggered off. I'm guessing she's died, but we don't know what of. Wingrace asks, by the way, you're watching the Doctor Who spin-off. We don't get it over here yet. Nope, not seeing it. Not seen it. 'Cause I've heard it's rubbish, and I just don't fancy it, to be honest. So no, I've not watched it. I don't know how many episodes in we are, but no. And I probably won't watch it. So there. Anyway, so he's fallen asleep on top of his pile of suitcase, and his dad wakes him up, and he falls down. He's in his underplugs. But Harry, are you awake? And it's all in Finnish. This weird lingo that they speak. When it's ready. Harry, Schmogen, and all that stuff. But anyway. So he says, yes, I'm coming. And that's his, he's got his, I forgot, Volpe or whatever he calls it. It's like his security plushie that he takes everywhere with him. So off he goes. He does his advent calendar. He opens up 23. It said one day to Christmas, so that's the 24th, isn't it? But he opens up, we see him open up 23. I'll show you. I'm not lying. There we go. He's opened up 23, look. There it is. There he is, opening up 23. No chocolates in his advent calendar. And then he tapes up 24. Because obviously he doesn't want Santa to come. Because he's scared of Santa now. So he tapes up 24. And later on he staples it shut. But anyway. Right, so he looks out of his window and sees there's footprints up on by his bedroom window. There's like a, I don't know, porch or whatever, veranda, I don't know. We see there's footprints in the snow. So somebody's been looking in his window. Anyway, so he goes down, and his dad's working in his barn, shed, whatever you want to call it. He butchers pigs and stuff like that, and deer and all that. That's what he does in there. So he's telling him to come in. He says, come in, but close your eyes. Father's working. There you go, Daddy's working. And we see he's butchering a pig. And he's asking, did you turn the lights off? Because they've got Christmas lights up. And he says, yes, what's the point? Nobody's going to see him in the middle of the night. But anyway, he says, yes, I did. But there he's butchering a pig. So he says, go get dressed, because we've got to get ready to meet the others. He says, why? What's going on? He says, well, don't you remember? He says, oh, yes, we're rounding up the herd. They've got to go and round up a herd of reindeer. They've got a big pen, that's a big electrified pen, and they go and herd up the reindeer, draw them into the pen, and just select some for culling and butchering, and then they sell the meat and fur and all that stuff. And it keeps them going over winter, apparently. So that's what they're going to do. So here they go. There we go. Off to meet the others on their snowmobiles. And here's the others. It's kind of a social event, I suppose, because all the other families are there doing all this. So where we learned that Pipperinnen, that plays Father Christmas, this is where we learn. Actually, I didn't notice this when I watched it earlier on, and all the other times I've watched it, I never noticed that it says Pipperinnen couldn't get the chopper started. And at the end of the film, we see Pipperinnen just jump in a helicopter and fly it, and I was like, when did he learn to fly a helicopter? It's telling us here at the beginning of the film. I should pay attention, shouldn't I? But anyway, so. Even though Yuso's kind of his best friend, I forgot his name, Patari's best friend, we'll call him Pete, is his best friend. It kind of does pick on him, and he says, do you know how to use that and all that stuff? And then he's saying Santa Claus were outside his window, because obviously he still believes in Santa Claus. This is where they're saying that the explosions have driven the wolves down and all that stuff. And then they hear the reindeer are coming. Here they come. And they go, yeah, they're coming, yeah. But there's only two. And they say, where's the rest of them? They don't know. Our freezers will soon be brimming with the meat. In Finnish. Whatever. So they get ready. We've seen... It showed us, it skipped over it here, but we saw Pipperinnen electrifying the fence. He pulls a lever and it all goes sparks flying. So it's a big electric fence. Remember it for the end of the film. It's Chekhov's pen, is this. Anyway, so there's only 2 of them, so where's the rest? Maybe the others got lost. Or wolves got them. So they've got to go and look for the rest of the herd. I don't know how many there's supposed to be. Actually I do, because it tells us, and I've forgotten. Can't remember. Does it tell us here in Wikipedia how many? Doesn't say. I think there's 198, I think it says. Or maybe not. But there's a lot. They do find them. They're all dead. And we're not sure what's killed them. There they are. There they are. All these reindeer, all dead, and they've been ripped open by animals. And there's, did wolves do all this carnage? And it turns out no, and it's not Santa either. But although it is related, and they follow the trail of dead reindeer to this hole in the fence. Excuse me. It's where we meet Yuso's dad. There he is. Who kind of reminds me a bit of Alexander Skarsgård, a little bit, but obviously it's not him. It says this hole's been cut by pliers, and they're blaming the Russians and stuff. The Russians have let the wolves into our area and all that. And but we learned that it were Petari and Yuso that cut the fence to go and spy on the research team up on the mountain. And Petari wants to confess, but Yuso won't let him. And that's they're saying they found the hole, and he's saying, shall we tell? Shall we say that we did it? Anyway, so he decides, does Rauno, we should go up and have words with them, because they work out how much of the meat. If they butchered all these carcasses, how much would the meat and the fur and all that and the antlers or whatever bring him? And it's like 85,000. I think it says dollars. I don't think it says euros. But it says, how much would that bring? Because they don't have insurance. It does say it. So he asks here. We see Petari checking one of the carcasses. We see there's a human-like footprint underneath. Not wolves. But he does ask. Hang on, where does it tells him? It tells him here. I think it says dollars. Hang on, where is it? Where is it? There you go. Yeah, it says dollars. $85,000 for all the carcasses. Does it tell us? There, 433 carcasses. Where'd they get 198 from? The end of the film for what happens there. But $85,000. They're out of pocket. So he says, right, we're going to have words up at the research thing. But this means they've got to cross the border into Russia. But he don't care. He just uses his gun and blows the padlock off the fence, and they're going. The guards are being paid to shoot anyone who comes near. But when they get up there, there's nobody there. Dark look by the time they get there. She's being naughty. What are you up to? Cheeky monkey. Anyway, there's nobody about. Nobody there. They don't know what's been going on. It is deserted. So they're having a look round. Petari finds like a big photograph, like a scan of the mountain or something. What they call it, ground penetrating radar or something. I don't know, but that shows there's something in the mountain. He finds that and he nabs it. That's what he's looking at there, I think. There we go. That he finds that. There's seen something in the mountain. So it's very like the thing in it. And then they find a big hole where they've got something out. He throws a flare down. There it goes. Whee! Down it goes. All the way down. I say it's gone quite a long way, and it's dead like 1,300 feet or something, didn't they? Or did they say metres? I can't remember. So saying they've excavated something, not been researching anything, they've been digging something out. So I think, well, nothing because there's nobody about, so they can't do anything. So they head back home, and here's Rauno. That's how I pronounce it. Rauno. That's how it's spelled. Rauno. It might be Rauno or Rauno. Who knows? He's cooking and looking a bit sad. There you go. He's putting a roast in t'oven, and then we see Petari. There you go, stapling up the 24th of December. Anyway. So he's showing Juuso all about what Santa were really like, and he gives him a piece of card and he says, "Tape that to your bum." I don't know why. I don't know if it's just he thinks he's going to get. Because I think one of his pictures it showed one of the Santas whipping a child on his behind. So I think that's why he's taped cardboard to him. Oh, she's at it. Is that cat? What are you doing? She's running about like a loony. Obviously, Juuso don't believe him. He says it's all nonsense. But then he shows him the thing. He's nicked it, look, from the cabin up on the mountain. There's something in the mountain. But he obviously, we don't know what it is, do we? It's just a picture of something in it. He don't know what it is. But he says it's Santa Claus. They've found Santa Claus in the mountain. There we go. And then he read about the legend that in the olden days, I think it's the Sami people or something. Oh, where are we? There we go. The Sami people got angry with this Santa that kept eating their children because they were naughty, and lured him onto a lake, and he fell through the ice. Did Santa? Because Santa's massive in this film. And he fell through the ice and then froze underwater. And then when summer came, they got the block of ice out. Because imagine it's not very warm in summer there. Got the block of ice out and then piled loads of stones round it and sawdust and everything. Just buried it under this mountain of stones, which became the mountain that we see today. And obviously, Juuso doesn't believe him. Just laughs at him and says, "Don't tell anybody that we cut that hole in the fence." Anywho, so it's ready for dinner. He's having. He's been baking gingerbread men as Rauno, as his dad. And he says they're very nice, just like Mum used to make. And this is the only time that Mum's mentioned. Just like Mum used to make. And he says, "Thank you." And we see him actually crying a little bit, Rauno, after this little exchange when Petari leaves the room. So I'm guessing she's died and is still sad about it. But anyway. So anyway, they have a little chat and all that stuff about Santa and things and kids being good. And he says, "Well, you're a good kid. Off you go. Time to go to bed." He said, "Good kids go to bed now." So off he goes, and then he has a little cry. Look, having a little. But he's a big tough Finn up in northern Finland, so he can't cry too much. Anyway, right, so he's sat up there with all his armour on. His dad says, "Why are you wearing all that stuff? Well, have you been playing hockey?" He says, "No, it's just some game that me and Juuso play." He says, "It must be a rough game." He says, "Yes, it is." So he doesn't tell him all about Santa. But, right, then we cut to Jonathan Hutchins again. They've got the thing out the mountain. It's in Hangar 24 on some, I don't know, is it some airfield or where, I don't know what it is, but this base, and they wait for a helicopter to come in and take it away. But then it starts kicking off. Here we go. They start hearing noises. Look, all the men that were working around him. So let's see all these people around him. Hang on, where are we? There you go. Suddenly they disappear. All of a sudden, just the helmets left. We're going to see him get got in a minute. There we go, just the helmets left, and then I think he gets got. Here we go, bye. We just see a naked set of legs. But these red barrels are just asking to be shot, aren't they? They're a thing in games, aren't they? But they don't shoot them. But then obviously something's happened to all them there, and they wait for the helicopter. And Riley, the fella, he's coming in the helicopter apparently. Anyway, right, back at Petari's house, there's his dad bringing some wood, and I think we hear a noise. I thinks something's going on. Yes, he hears a noise. He comes running downstairs. His dad's saying, "Oh, stop, wait, we've got to see what it is. It's a noise from the fireplace where he just put the wood." So he goes to check, and it turns out it's like a bear trap. There's a bear trap in there. There you go. He thinks out that Batari had put in to trap Santa. So his dad's not best pleased with him. He says, "What were you thinking? I could have been killed." So he says, "You're grounded for Christmas." Anyway, I says, "You're not to leave the house, you're grounded." He says, "But I need to pee, so don't they have the toilet in the house?" "I don't know, they mustn't do." So he goes out for a wee. There he is, having a wee. And then he notices that the pig's head has disappeared. There goes his calling him. There you go, the bait's gone. So he goes to check the pit, and there's something in there. Something's gone for the bait and ended up in the pit. And he thinks it's a bird, because we see feathers and stuff. But hang on, it moves thing out the way, and then we see there's a, oh, for Pete's sake, there we go. There's a hand, a human hand. So he tells Patari to go back to the house, and basically drags him in. And sat eating gingerbread men. He's wondering what to do with Rauno. So anyway, he says, "Why can't I look in the pit?" So if I eat more gingerbread men, can I look in the pit? So he gives him more gingerbread men. Anyway, he says, "No, you're not allowed out of the house. You're grounded." Anyway, so Pipperinnen arrives in his Santa outfit. Remember, it's Christmas. Is it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day now? I'm not sure. But he's arrived to do his Santa-in stuff. He says, "You've got to come and help me first." So they get whatever were in the pit, wrap it in a sheet, and drag it off to his workplace. There it is, and they open it up. And it's some old bloke in clothes. And we learn that it's not Brian Greene, because it doesn't look anything like him. There he is, but he's got Brian Greene's clothes on. So obviously this is one of this Santa. It's a Santa, and he's killed Brian Greene and taken his clothes. So, but they think he's Brian Greene, and they say he's American. Hang on, we see his. They're going to show it. There we go. Yeah, an American thing, but it's obviously English. Whatever, he's got an English accent, but he's an American, United States of America. Brian Jonathan Greene, United States of America, date of birth 1962, from Michigan, and his passport number is Pi 3.14159265. And his passport lasted till 2016, but anyway. So there we go. So yes, it says he's American. I didn't realise that last time, because it doesn't. I didn't pause it on that when I was watching it earlier on. But he's obviously British when you listen to him speak. But never mind. Maybe he's an expat. So they say, he's only, what was it, 1962 we were born. So how old was that? So it's 2010. So not even 50, is he? Is he 2010? 62, 72, 82, 92, 02. Yeah, not even 50, is it? Back when this film came out, it's set in 2010. So it says not even 60, but obviously looks a lot older. Anyway, they wonder what to do with him. And Pipperinnen wants to call the police, obviously, because Pipperinen's obviously sensible. And he says, "No, we're not." Thinking they're going to have to just get rid of the body. And they see that the cutting thing that he uses to cut up the carcasses, they're going to do that with this body and obviously get rid of it, which is a bit dark, isn't it, for our heroes? But anyway, meanwhile, Patari's checking out the pit, and there we go. He sees potato sacks, which we learn is something to do with the plot. He's climbed down into the pit, and there we go. See these empty potato sacks at the bottom of the pit. Oh, and then like an effigy. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but he finds that. Anyway, so they're going to cut him up, but then he moves. He starts breathing, and he's alive, and there we go. He's breathing. So they can't cut him up now because he's still alive. And why he started breathing? Because he sensed that there's a small child nearby. Petari's peeking in through the window, look. And there we go. He smells something. He smells the blood of a young Finishman. Anyway, and he runs off and he looks up, there's his dad and sees him. And he goes, Petari! And he goes running off. He goes, come back! You're supposed to stay inside. In Finnish, obviously. So he goes after him. He says, you stay here, look after him and don't let him escape, etc. So off he goes, jumps in his truck and heads out. And but just in time to see the cops, the nimismis have arrived. I imagine that's Finnish for cops. Nimismis. We see that Petari's there we go, flagging down, whatever, waving down the police, and he jumps in, and we don't know what he tells him. Don't know, does he tell him his cock and bull tale about Santa Claus and stuff, and the policeman doesn't believe him, or what, I don't know, but they don't go home. He follows them. He says, Petari, what are you doing? He says, and they follow him to the home of Juuso and his dad, who I don't know what his dad's called. Maybe Amo, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, because he's the only other character in this list. Amo. They've gone to his house because Amo had called the police, so he's going there. And this is where all the potato sacks have come from, because Amo's saying, the policeman says, what are you calling me here for? Just said people stole your potatoes. And he says, no, come look in the barn, and we see that they just stole the sacks and left all the potatoes. There we go, couple hundred sacks of potatoes. And we see that they're actually still there, they just took the sacks. They don't know why. It's where we learn that Juuso's disappeared. He says, where's Juuso? And he says, he's in his room sleeping, so he goes to check on him. And so we see that Juuso's not there. Something's happened. Oh, right, that's it. He's been replaced with one of them effigies. See, I should pay attention when I'm watching these films first time round, shouldn't I? So what they're doing, they're going and replacing the children that they're taking, the Father Christmases. There's more than one of them, with these scary effigies. So I imagine the one at the bottom of the pit was the one that were going to be for Petari when Santa Claus was on his way to take Petari for being a naughty boy or whatever, and leave an effigy in his place. Obviously got distracted by the pig's head, and like Chewie on Endor, thinking with his stomach, and fell in the pit. Good job it wasn't a spiky pit on Endor, innit? Anyway, there goes. The Juuso's gone, and that were put in his bed, so they've got a missing kid. We'd learn later on there's loads of missing kids. But anyway, so Rauno and Petari are allowed to go home, so take him home. Piperinen is checking on the old fogey, eating the gingerbread men. He's eating, because remember we learned that he'd made loads of gingerbread men at Rauno. So he's eating some gingerbread men. He must have gone to the house to get some, whatever. Or maybe he had some in there with him, I don't know, for snacks. And he's eating them. But we learn, if you watch the YouTube videos, the prequels to this, I suppose you could say, we learn that the Santa Claus, the Father Christmases, love gingerbread men. It says you can lure them away, or, stop them from attacking you with gingerbread men. So that's what's happening here. It's sniffing. It wants some of the gingerbread man, because they can't resist it. But it does say in the video, be careful or you could lose a finger. And this is where Piperinen loses part of his ear. Anyway, so I'm guessing a lot of these places are spaced out. It's a wide area that they live in, because they set off somewhere and then suddenly it's dark, or maybe it was just because in winter it does get dark quickly, doesn't it? But anyway, so he's there, and we see his ears all bleeding. Look, so obviously the Father Christmas had taken a bite out of him. It looks a bit like what's his name? that Scottish actor, James Cosmo. Looks a bit like him, doesn't it? Well, I think he does. So, the old swine bit me, look at that. So they go in, and he's like squatting in the corner, is the old man. If it's going to show him. We learn that Amo, I think that's his name, speaks English. Because they think he's American. Well, yeah, they think he's American. They think he's this American Brian Greene fella. And he speaks English. So, hey, old man, what are you doing? And all that, speaking like that. Hang on. Oh, never mind. I'm trying to get him speaking so he can speak in English. Oh, whatever. They go and prod him with a broom and stuff like that, because they're just squatting there, weirdly. Because they're like animals. They're not like intelligent, even though they make these effigies and stuff. But they're kind of feral. These Santa Claus, these Father Christmases. Turns out they're not. They're not Father Christmases. They're elves. They're Santa's helpers, so they're elves. But they're not, nice elves. They don't want to be dentists. Not that sort of elf. Anyway, so there we go. The prodding is kind of not responding. Anyway, meanwhile, Petari's phoning round the village, all the kids that he knows, and he's asking about them. And we learn that they're all not there. The parents are saying, oh, that they're out playing or whatever. They're not there. So he's thinking, oh, they've disappeared. They've been taken. So he goes to tell his dad that the other kids have vanished, and that makes the Father Christmas react, because he knows that Batari's there. So this is where he's telling him that the other kids have disappeared. Oh no, he says first though. He says, Dad, I've been naughty. You need to whip me. And he's got a twig. So he said, 15 lashes should do it. He said, what are you on about? What have you done? And he says, it were me and Yuso that cut the fence and, let the wolves get the reindeers and all that stuff. But then we hear all this commotion inside. So he goes back in and says, stay here. But look, poor little bugger's crying. Look, he thinks he's done a terrible thing. Poor little sod. But all this commotion, and then we're going to see that the broomstick that says he bit it in half. So there we go. So he's kind of vicious. Then we see his eyes glow. He's got eye shine. It's going to show. There we go. Ooh, scary. Look at his eyes. But he's looking around. He's looking at Petari. So they use him as a human shield. Sort of. But they're still trying to, make him speak. But they tie him up. There we go. Do they shoot him? I can't remember. They shoot over his head, and that makes him squat down again in fear. And so they tie him up, or chain him up in a tarp, and hang him from the ceiling. So what we're going to do? Because they're saying he's not human, so they don't know what he is. He's weird. Then they hear a radio. They hear like a walkie-talkie going. And it's coming from his jacket. This is Brian Greene's jacket, remember? So it's obviously got his walkie-talkie in. It's where we learn that a helicopter's coming and sending out, is the package ready for collection? And they say, we're holding Father Christmas ransom. We want money for him. Pay us some money and you can have him. So this weird fella there. It's obviously, what's his face? I forgot his name already. Yeah, genuinely forgot his name already. Riley. He's like saying, okay. So I must tell them where to meet them. So off they go. They head out. They've dressed Father Christmas. If you can see it. Off Pete's sake, I'm going to show it. There we go. In a Father Christmas, in Piperinen's Father Christmas outfit. And off they go to this airfield or whatever it is. Where they're going to be met by the helicopter, and they're all got all the guns and everything. But to say how much should we ask, and he says $85,000. But actually, he doesn't say it yet. He says, we'll ask for a lot of money, Remember earlier on, they decided all them reindeer at a cost, they could sell them for $85,000. So that's what he's going to ask for. So here they are, whatever this place is. I don't know what it is. Does it say in here? Yes, an air base. Yes, take the old man to an air base in a cage. So it is an air base, right? Fair enough. Don't see any runways or anything, but never mind. So here they are. They've arrived now. So where is everybody? There's nobody here. Then the helicopter arrives. Hang on, they found something. Yes, because we'd learned earlier on, by the way, I forgot to mention this. The policeman earlier on, I don't think we see again. I said earlier on that, lots of weird things have been happening and he's got loads of calls to make because everybody in the village, have had like cookers and heaters and stuff like that stolen and they don't know why. They don't know who's done it. Because everybody's had something stolen, and Amo says his wife's hairdryer's been stolen, and he finds it here. There we go, he picks it up and says, "It's my wife's hairdryer." So he stuffs it down his kicks and says, anyway. So the helicopter arrives. The Sub-Zero helicopter arrives with Riley in, and out he comes and says, "He's a midget." There's only a little fella. So it says, "We've got your Father Christmas." And it says, "How much do you know? Pay us the money and you can have him. So how much do you want?" And Rauno blurts out $85,000. And I said, "You should have said $1 million." But anyway, so it says, "Can I have a look at him?" And obviously, he should know that they haven't got the Santa Claus on the back of the truck because he's massive. But anyway, he goes and has a look. They bring him round and they say, "Oh no, you haven't got a Santa. This isn't Santa Claus. This isn't Father Christmas. This is one of Father Christmas's helpers." They go, "What? This is an elf?" Meanwhile, Peter's looking in Peter. Petari's looking in Hangar 24. It should have been 18, shouldn't it? But I thought 24 for the. It's his. I've just realised it's his bloody advent calendar, isn't it? That is shut, that is taped up and stapled. It's his advent calendar that he's going to have to open, isn't it? God, I'm dead thick. I've seen this film loads of times. That's the first time I've twigged that. Anyway, so he's telling him that he's an elf, and he says, "Oh, it's an elf." But then all hell breaks loose because he's going to die now. Look, he's telling him. Look, hang on. Yeah, Santa's little helpers. I don't know where he's supposed to be from. Hoisted by his own petare. Anyway, we're going to see loads of others of them in a minute. They say, "Oh, what's that over there?" And they see movement all around. I'm not going to show it now. I bet I've missed a bit. We see others in the. Is it going to show it? That's the helmet that the helicopter pilot were wearing. Suddenly, just rolls across the ground, and we see some other Santa's helpers knocking about. In a minute, what's up with him? Come on, show us. 'Cause it happens right quick. Come on, bloody hell. Anyway, poor Riley, he cops for it now. He gets like an axe in his head. Obviously, they must be good at throwing them. Yes, we're going to see. Are we going to see one? Here we go. There we go. We see one standing there. They're all naked for some reason. Later in the film, we're going to have to be quick because we see them. The knobs are swinging and everything. But anyway, so poor Riley's going to cop for it. Here we are, some more are coming. They've got all these old Scandinavian men just run about in the snow. I don't know if, in the film you're seeing all the tackle and stuff, but in the behind the scenes, unless it was just for rehearsals or something, I don't know, but they had underpants on that they were running about. So maybe the CG willies that they've put on it, I don't know, but anyway. Now we'll see another one coming, and what's it? There we go. He gets got now. Any second now. and there we go, a pickaxe in his head. Poor fella. Anyway, so they retreat into hangar 24 and brace the door. And then we see that's where there we go. That's where the real Father Christmas is. It's obviously some Krampus type. And what they've been doing, the elves had been stealing all the heaters and potato sacks, and obviously they've put all the potato sacks or whatever. Oh no, they've put some of the kids in the potato sacks, and they plugged all the heaters in, and they're warming up the ice. They're trying to melt the ice around Father Christmas. So there you go. That's showing us there. Look, and we see that the ice is starting to melt. So he's going to come out and not be in the best of moods, I imagine. Meanwhile, they all start banging outside the elves. Oh, barricade the door. They're shooting through the door and all that stuff. They're using the heaters to barricade the door. Meanwhile, Amo finds Yuso in one of the sacks, and they get some of the other. They leave all the other kids in there, but I think they put Yuso back in his sack because Petari has an idea. He looks up and sees there's a big hole in the roof. There we go. And he thinks, oh, there's a helicopter outside. Because remember, Pipperinnen can fly a helicopter. So he has an idea. So what they're going to do, they're going to hoist all the kids in sacks. I thought at first, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, they're going to hoist Father Christmas out. This is obviously how they got Father Christmas in there, I imagine. But I don't know. But anyway, but that's how they're going to get him out. No, it's not how they're going to get the kids out. He said, I've got an idea. So off he goes. He's got some gingerbread men to throw at the elves to distract him so he can get to the helicopter. And it works as well. There he goes, using the helicopters. I'd be shooting them barrels, me. As soon as I see a red barrel in a game, bang, shoot it. So he gets to the helicopter. Obviously, he takes off, and he said, "This is Petari's operation. He's on the radio saying, do this, that, and the others." Kind of annoying, to be honest, but never mind. So they get all the kids still in their potato sacks, all going, "What's going on?" But he said, "Will the kids be okay?" But they put Yuso back in his sack and shove him in as well. So I don't want to do it. You'll be fine. So anyway, Petari goes with them. He's hanging on to the net. So off they go. I'm guessing this is a CG helicopter. I don't know. It could be a model. Could be a real helicopter. I don't bloody know. And off they go. They're gonna lure away all the elves. We can call them elves now. We know that, don't we? All the elves, all Santa's little helpers. They're going to lure them all away to the pen. Remember the pen with the electric pen that were for the reindeer? They're going to trap them all in there. So that's what they're going to do. And then they're going to blow up Santa. They're going to drilling into the ice. They've got all the explosives. Remember, we've seen all the explosives that Sub-Zero had. So I imagine all that's there. So they're drilling into the ice. Look, and they're putting all sticks of dynamite in. Anyway, so he looks down and you see that they're all following them. The Santas. They're going to show it. There we go. See all the Santas following him. I'm guessing they're CG not Santas, elves. I'm guessing they're all following him. So he's going to head for the pens. So, right, okay. So that's what they do. But he says that, before they do that, they're going to blow that up. Looks like we've been naughty. So off they go. They're going to drive off now. And they've cut off his horns for some reason. I don't really know why. I don't know if it mentions them again or shows them again. I don't know. We will see. I never noticed. But they've cut off his horns and they're taking them away. And I don't really know why. Maybe we see him again and I just didn't notice because I'm not the most observant reviewer, am I? I'm bloody useless. Anyway, so they arrive. There we go. They arrive at the pens, and Petari notices that the gate's closed. So he's going to jump down. Says, "I can't land there to bring you back up," and he goes, "I'm not coming back." All cliche lines. So off he goes. He just jumps off. He doesn't jump far. He lands there on this this cable, and then climbs down and opens the gate and turns on the electric fence thing or whatever. And here come the Santas, not Santas, elves. And I can't call them Santas because at the end of the film, spoilers, they use them as Santas. That's why they call it rare exports. But anyway. So here they come. Oh, we've got to be careful here. All knobs and stuff. There they are. So they get them all in there, and they're all trapped in there now because it's all electric. But meanwhile, they drive away. He's got a cable coming out the back of his pickup truck. So and with his detonator there. Give me my detonator. And he presses it, and it all blows up. Oh, look. Santa blows up, look. Boom! So I'm guessing they've killed Santa, the real Santa, I imagine. Yeah, blown up, apart from his horns. Oh, careful. And suddenly all the elves just like stop because Santa's dead, and they've nothing to do now because they're there to do Santa's bidding and to protect him and all that stuff. And but now he's dead, so they all just like a bit like Borg. They're just like shut down sort of thing and just standing about. So I said, what are we going to do with all these old men now? And then it cuts to in a minute. Oh, I says, take the kids home. By the way, the kids are all still hanging underneath the helicopter, aren't they? And he says, take the kids home. And then they arrive. With Yuso, he's got Yuso back out of his sack. And he says, what are we going to do with these 198 Father Christmases or elves? So they're going to clean them up. There we go, clean them up. Got to be careful here as well because he's some old man Willie. Oh, crikey. And then it goes to clean them all up. And then, crying out loud. There we go. And it says, hang on, I missed a bit. There was the one earlier on. There were another one. Does it say? Oh, there we go. 312 days to Christmas. And then it shows them cleaning them up. And then it goes to 70-something days to Christmas. 76 days to Christmas. So they're teaching them how to be Santas. There they are. It's where they're teaching them. So they're all sitting there with effigies of kids and presents, and he's showing them what to do. They're going to basically rent them out or sell them as department store Santas. That's what they're doing. They're exporting them as such. So they're showing them what to do. And if they don't do as they're told, they get beaten or whatever. I don't know, but anyway. So that's what they're doing, and then they pack them up. I'm going to show it. It was like 24 days before Christmas. Here we go. Putting one in there. Are they immortal? And do they not need feeding? But although I'm guessing it's all these elves that killed all those reindeer. But I don't know. But they just put them in a crate. Live cargo, rare exports. This one's going to Zanzibar in Tanzania. And then lots of other crates, just like Raiders, all going to different places around the world. I'm sure they said there were 198 of them. Does it say on this? Yes, 198. So they are the rare exports. So that's what they're going to get. I work out that they're going to sell each one for $85,000, and there's 198 of them. So they're going to make 16 point something million. Because apparently Yuso is some maths prodigy, because they keep asking him. And he just comes out with the answer. So he should be doing countdown. But anyway. So off they go, and we see that Piperinen is flying the plane. They've got a big plane that they're going to, obviously they're shipping them all out to all these places around the world, and that's it, that's the end. So they're going to make $16 million selling fake Santas. I hope they don't. So I'm guessing, I don't know, are they now harmless, these Santas? Now there's not Santa, these elves. Now there's no real Santa for them to protect. Have they just become all placid and they won't hurt anybody? I'm guessing so. But that's the end. That's the end of the what have I done there? I've gone to the middle. Whatever. That's the end of the flick. It is a lot of fun. It is on Amazon and other places if you want to rent or buy it. And it is on Blu-ray and DVD. I don't know how much the DVD is. I should have looked, shouldn't I? I went to buy the Blu-ray. I imagine the DVD is cheaper. I'm gonna see. Not much cheaper, no. I'm not paying a bloody tenner for a bloody DVD. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, so it is a lot of fun. It's over and done with quickly. It doesn't waste any time. Hour and 20 minutes. You're in and out. You can't tell with foreign films when they're speaking in a foreign language if they're good actors or not, can you? These could be the best actors in Finland for all I know. I don't know. They could be terrible. I have no idea. But it's all well made, even though little Onni, whatever the hell his name is, Onni Tomila, looks weird, and it's kind of got that like weird, that says, kind of Siberian look to him. You know what I mean? You know, anyway, it doesn't look like his dad, does it? I imagine he takes after his mother. It looks like Disparu. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of Rare Exports. A lot of fun. Not particularly gruesome or anything, or horrific, although it does have some dark moments in it. But it is a fun flick, and I generally watch this every year. I generally watch it every year because it's a well worth looking at. So there we go. I told you we'd be in and out quick, didn't we? Here we are. Apologies for this background. StreamYard's just updated with some free backgrounds. I don't like it's a bit poo in it. I'm going to change it. I know it's very festive and stuff, but it's a bit too festive. Go back to that. We'll stick with that. So there we go. We will leave it there. We're all done and dusted. Another quickie. What's coming up next? What day are we on? Friday. Don't know what I'm doing Sunday. Haven't decided yet. Could do a sketch, man. Don't do anything. Windgrace's buddy. He wants me out of here. Hey, take care. Look, he's off. He's got his coat on. He's going out the door. On Monday, for Magnificent Mondays next week, we're looking at Violent Night with David Harbour. Another Santa film. Another violent Santa film, which is a lot of fun. It's from the team that brought us John Wick and all them, so it is a fun flick. I did enjoy it. It's one of those films that I didn't know whether to watch it, and then when I did watch it, I thought, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's one of those sort of films. I didn't expect much, and I really liked it. Best sort of films, those are. So that's what's on Monday. And next Friday, I don't know. I'll have to check my schedule. Oh, for Pete's sake, will you bloody... There we go. Just let me check my schedule. Rum-ti-tum, tum-ti-tum, open up my folder. I should have had this already. I know. Where the hell have I put it? Christmas schedule. Where are you? Where the hell is it? It was there. Where's it disappeared to? Oh, there it is. Next Friday's appointment with Fear. Windgrace will like this. It's The Ginger Dead Man. Another one that I don't have a physical copy of, but I've bought it on Amazon Prime. So I do own it, technically. The Ginger Dead Man with Gary Busey, I think, isn't it? And I've not watched that yet. I've never seen it before. But I remember Windgrace always seems to mention it every year, The Ginger Dead Man. So I thought, sod it. That's what we're watching. Next week, I'm not watching it, we're talking about it. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Be nice. Remember, you don't want an evil Santa taking you away, replacing you with some sort of husky effigy. Pardon me. When I say husky, I mean like made of a husk, like a coconut thing, not like a dog. Whatever, I'm waffling. It's something for sure, says Windgrace, talking about Ginger Dead Man. But anyway, look after each other, and don't have nightmares as well. And until next time, I'll say they.